Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. In our today's course, I'm going to teach you how to create a website from the scratch using HTML and CSS. If you look at my screen right here, you can see a simple website. This is a website I just created with HTML and CSS. I want us to put into practice what you have learned over the past week using HTML and CSS to create a simple, beautiful website. If you watch here, we'll have our navbar, we'll have the hero part, we'll have the destination, we'll have the about part, and we'll have contact us and the footer. If you look here, this is a very simple website. I've just created it, and I've just thought it's a very good idea to put into practice what we have learned over the past week. So now I want you, now that you have learned about HTML and CSS, I want you to bring it to life. I want you to create a website. I want you to look at it and say, yes, this is what I have created with what I have learned. So this website, we are going to create it right now. Okay, everything we are starting from scratch. No tricks. We are going to create everything. Now you are going to learn this, how to create this beautiful website on your own, and as well you can fine tune this more to make it to look to personalize it. Okay, so stick with us. I'm going to teach you how to make this on your own. Okay, guys, now we are going to quickly start. Okay, so I will simply go to my desktop and create a project. The first thing you have to do is to create your folder where you're going to start working on. I'll just quickly do that on my desktop. This is my desktop now. You can as well do this in any location of your choice, but I prefer to do this on my desktop to make it very easy accessible. So now I'll just create a folder. I'll call this let's call it travel website. Okay, let's call it travel website. So I will just quickly go to my VS Code and open this folder. Okay, so let's quickly go to VS Code and open this folder. I have this here. So now this is my VS Code. My VS Code is right here. It's opened. I will just click choose file, then select open folder. When I open folder, I'll go to my desktop. This is the file this is the folder I just created. I'll select it. Now it's coming up. It's coming up, guys. So now we have our folder opened in our VS Code. I think it's still loading. It's still coming up. It's still coming up because we have to get that welcome message. Yeah, look at it. It's here. So now we can just quickly close this. We don't need it now. So what you're gonna do next is to create a HTML file. Let's quickly create a HTML file, index.html. Remember, the name of your file must end with HTML. But from the start, you can call it anything, but the end, the dot, must end with what? HTML dot. It must end with .html. So I'll just hit enter, and I have a simple, fast way to create a HTML boilerplate. You hit the shift button and click the one. When you click one, you select this exclamation mark. It will generate a very fast HTML boilerplate code for you. So this is the title of the website. Let's change it to travel. We'll call our website what? TravelWise. Let's call it TravelWise. Let's just call it TravelWise. Okay. So now this is our HTML. Let's create a simple border. Let's create a simple body. Let's add something to the body. We'll just call it, let's put h3. I'll call it TravelWise. We want to start our website first. Let's see. So I'll click right click. You choose right click and open with live server. So this is a way to start our project. And as well, you can use the manual part where you go to your file location and select open with the Chrome browser, any browser of your choice. So now our website is live. This is the website I just simply created now is live. And what you're going to do now is to create something similar to this. Okay, everything we are doing it live now. Okay, so stick with us, pay attention, like, comment, okay, subscribe. So we are going to create something very similar to this. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Okay, every week we are dropping new tutorials on how to make website, and we are dropping many courses about coding and programming. Okay, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Thank you, guys. Let's go. We are creating something very similar to this now. So What you're gonna do now, we have started our website. This one we are calling it TravelWise, and the first one we did was travel travel website. So now this one we are calling it TravelWise. Remember, this is the title. So we have just started our website. What you're gonna do next is to start coding. Okay. So what you're gonna ask now, what are these steps to start coding? I want you to learn something now. If you're a beginner or maybe you're already a developer, you can as well learn something. But mostly for beginners, if you look at this now, there's a way to organize your code. It's very important when you are coding. Organizing your code is very, very important. If you look at this, you can see that this HTML is the parent tag of this the whole HTML code inside this. This HTML tag, this from line 2 and line 11, it's the parent of everything. What it means that everything we are coding here must be inside this HTML tag, and inside this HTML tag is the parents. So this HTML tag is the parent. Inside it, we have two we have two main children tag, which are the head tag and the body tag. The head tag is what we have at the top, everything we have at the top, and how we put other headings stuff, then inside the body tag is what you see. Everything you are seeing on the website is embedded inside this body tag. All right, so now let's quickly start creating, and what I want you to learn is how to organize your code, okay, so that to make it more readable. In case another person wants to look at your code and debug or work on top of your code, the person will easily learn how to work on top of your code. You have to make your code to be very readable. It's very good in case of code review, okay, or when you join a company, you make a code review, or when you want to debug, you'll be able to read your code very fast and know what is wrong with your code, okay. So now what I'm going to do, I will just write I will say navigation. I will call it a navigation bar. Remember, I'm going to comment this. Okay, this is a comment. I'm going to put it in a comment. So I've just commented my code. I'm trying to, in case a visitor comes to my code base, I'm just trying to show the visitor that this is a navigation section, and I'm going to use the nav bar. Remember, I have a nav tag, in the HTML. So the next step, I'm going to create a simple div inside the nav tag, and that div, I'm going to give it a class of container, and inside it I'm going to create another div. Okay, so now let's call it a class of container. Oh, no, class of container. So inside it we are going to have another, let me remove this. Okay, so we are going to call this we're going to give it a class of what, navbar. Let's call it navbar container. All right, guys, please make sure you subscribe. This way it will support the channel to produce more videos every week. Okay, thank you, guys. So now we are going to put, if you watch here, let me show you something. If you watch here, you see that we have two different stuff. This is the nav, this is the menu items, and this is the logo. Okay, so we are going to have two different sections that we'll put in a flex. All right, so now let's write a h1. Let's call this a h1. I'll call it TravelWise. All right, TravelWise. And the next one, we're going to have a UL. We are going to have a UL. Okay, we're going to have a UL. This UL will contain UL means another list. So we're going to have li. I think I should put it in one line. So inside the list item, we're going to have an anchor tag. That's a tag. Now we're going to have this as the home. Let's duplicate this, guys. So this is going to be, we're going to have 4 different nav menus. Let me go there again and check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. So let's go back here again. So we're going to, the next one is, I think, destination, right? Destinations. The other one, let's check this guy. Let's be sure. This is destination, home, destination, about, and contact. So the next one will be what? About. Okay, the next one is contact. I'm going to make this thing to look very simple and organized, because I want you to learn how to organize your code. It's very important for beginners. So if you look at this now, let me go to Okay, you see that we have a simple this is travel, not traffic. What's going on? It's travel wise. So now we have this travel wise, we have this logo and the nav menus. So I want us to quickly style this. So let's give the logo a class. Going to give it a class of logo. Okay, so and we're going to give it a class of logo. The nav, the UL, we're going to give it, we're also going to give it a class of nav links. Okay, so let me give this a class of nav links, and you can as well rename these classes to your own choice. Let's call it nav links. Okay, let's call this nav links. Then I think this is okay for now. Or let's complete the a tags. Let's complete the let's give it the href. We're going to give it the put a this one will be the home. So when you click this, it's going to bring it to the home. Then we'll put hashtag to href to this stuff. This will going to be this is going to be the what destinations. Let's write destinations. I will show you what this is gonna do. So this next one, let me just quickly copy this and paste it so that it will save us time. So this next one is what is going to be about. Okay, so the next one is going to be what not this not container, this is contacts. What's wrong? This is contacts, guys. Sorry, this is contacts, not container. This is contacts. Is contacts. Contacts. Okay, so I'm just going to make this to be lowercase c. So if you see now that we have implemented our tag, so when you click this, it will take you to this page. You see that it's changing the URL. Look at it, it's changing the URL. Okay, so what it means that when you click, this is a single page application. When you click it, it will just that scroll you down to the section of that the section of what you clicked. Okay, so now we have just created our, I think we should also create the hero part before we start styling it. Let's create the hero part. Let's just create the hero part. We'll call it the hero section. I want you to pay attention to how I'm organizing this code. It's very important to learn. Okay, so this is the hero section. This is the hero section. Now let's quickly create the HTML of the hero section. We are going to use the header tag. Okay, there's a tag called header tag in the HTML. We are going to give it a class of hero. Okay, then we'll put a div. Let's put a div inside it. Let me clean up this. I want to this. You see the way my code looks. So when you are coding, please make sure your code look very neat and clean. That way it will be very easy for you to read and understand your code. Okay, so inside the div tag, inside this header, we are going to give it a class of container and hero container. Let's give it a class of container. Pay attention to these class names and the hero container. Okay, so inside the hero container, inside the div, we are going to have if you come here with the one we have previous, this is the hero part. Okay, we are going to put this background image, then add a little color to the background image. Then this right up here, explore the world and discovering amazing destination. Now we have to put the tag, the head tag, then put this this p tag on this little button. Okay, that's what we're going to do inside now. So now let me come here now, and I'll use a h2 tag and the p tag and an a tag. Then the a tag, we're going to make it a button. Okay, so now let me write h2 tag. What we call it, explore the world. Explore the world. We want to explore the world, guys. Explore the world. So the next one is a p tag. I'm going to put a p tag. Or let's call it let's just go to that site and copy that stuff we have there. Let's just copy this so we don't waste time on this stuff. So just paste it here. This is explore the world, this stuff settings. This is explore the world. Okay, so the next one is the a tag. Okay, we're going to give it a class of btn. Let me just write a tag. It's going to direct us to the home. It's not going just going to write, we'll call it get started. Get started. I think that's what to have on the main website. So now this a tag, we're going to give it a class of btn. It will help us to style it. We're going to give it a class of btn. Okay, so let me go back there again and see what you have. Okay, this is explore the world, discover amazing destination, and plan your next adventure. So now we see that we have the HTML of these two parts, the navbar and the hero part. So what I'm going to do now, let's just quickly style this. All right, so I'll just come to, let's create a simple let's create a css file. We are going to call this styles, let's call it index.css. okay, so now we have our index.css. I don't, what is happening this stuff here? Do we have this VS Code file? Delete this. I don't need this stuff. Sorry guys, let me quickly delete it. I don't need this thing. Okay, let me be sure our code is in good terms. So now let's create a css file. Call it index.css. So we have just created our css file. Remember, you have, before you do anything, you have to import this css. Let's import that css. We'll go to our inside the header. Let's use the link tag. The relationship is style sheet. Then you have to write the part of this css, which is the index.css. I've just imported this. So now let me be sure that it's working. We'll just give a body. Let's just give the body a background color. This is to test if our css is well imported. Let's give it a background color of let's say red capture. Let's give it a background color of Rebecca purple. So okay, it's fine. Our css is working, it's in good order. So let's just remove it. We don't need it just to test if the css is working. So now what you're going to do, let's do what is called reset. Let's reset our css. I'll show you what the reset does. We use a asterisk and give it a margin of we're going to give it 0. Padding, we're going to give it 0 as well. Box sizing, we're going to give it border box. Okay, so let me explain what this thing does. Let me explain what it does. So if you come here, you see that there is no, we don't have any default margin and padding anymore. If you come here, if I remove this is called reset. It's called the reset, and what it does is I've removed it now, but if you see that we have some default padding and margins attached to this this HTML, and what the browser actually does this. The browser attach default padding and margins to this HTML tag on default. By default, it attached the padding and but when you put this, if I put this again now, let me uncomment it and save again. This I'm going what I'm doing with this aesthetics is called the universal selector. It's going to select everything. It's called universal selector. It's going to select everything, then to remove those default padding and margin. Okay, so this is what it does. So now the next step is to now we have created the universal reset. Let's start styling the body. Let's give it a body. Let's style the body, and we'll give it a font size, a font family of, we want to use a particular font family. Well, let's give it a font family of Arial and sans serif. We'll give it Arial and sans serif. Let's remove this vertical. We're going to use only Arial and sans serif. So look at it here. I think I like this font family for this particular website. Look at it. The font has changed. If I comment, let me comment it again and show you guys. I want everything to be very practical. Look at it. See the way it is. If I comment it again, you will see this. I want everything to be very practical. I want at the end of this course you'll be able to create this website on your own. Okay, but in case you have any bug while you are creating this, make sure you leave a comment. Reach out to me. I'm going to assist you. Okay, I'm very open. reach out to me, I will assist you. So let's continue again. So I want us to give, if you watch here, we have a container, or we have a class of container, and here we also have a class of container. I want us to style this container. I want to give this website a default, a kind of a default padding. Okay, we'll use that container, we'll use this container. Every of our session is going to have this class of container. So I want to give it this kind of padding. Okay, I want to give it this kind of padding. So whatever you are styling, when your HTML is coming in, is going to have this default padding. Okay, so now let's give it this default padding. Let's give it that padding. Let's go back to our CSS. I'll call it let's give it a max width of, I'll explain everything here. Max width of 1200 pixel, and we'll give it a margin of, let's give it a margin of 0 and auto. So the next one is padding. Let's give it a padding of 20 pixel. Padding of 20 pixel is okay. Let me check, be sure it's fine. So now if you look now, what this, let me explain this stuff. What this max width does is that the maximum width that this website will take is 1200. Okay, no matter how it increases to any website, any application, any of your browser size is going to take the maximum width of 1200. It's not going to pass that 1200. Okay, so now we have given it a padding of, look at this padding. We have given it a padding of 20 pixel. If you watch here, we're giving it a padding of look at here, you have this 20 pixel and you have it at the top. So, and as well, we have given it maximum width. This maximum width is not passing this 1200. We have this 1200 somewhere here, and we are adding a 20 pixel of padding. Remember what padding means. Padding is the if I give the, okay, let's give this a border. I want to show you what padding means. Let's give it a border. Let's say 2 pixel solid black. I want to show you where that padding is, that 20 pixel. If you look at it, you will have this, look at it here, we'll have this border here now. And if you watch here, we'll see that we'll have that. Look at, this is where the padding is. Look at this place, I have my cursor. This place I have my cursor is where the padding is. Look at it, this is the padding part. Look at this, the padding. Don't mind this list that we are going to remove it. But look at here, we have this padding here. Okay, so outside here is your margin. So this place, why we have this space here, because we have given this a maximum width of what, 1200 pixel. That's why I have this space here. We don't want it to pass this. And again, remember, we also put this container inside. We have centered this container using this margin of 0 and the auto. This margin auto will put it in the center. It will put everything, that container, it will, that's what is making to this thing to be at the center. Okay, let me comment this. If I comment this, you see that it's no longer at the center. Are you seeing it? So it's that margin auto that is making this to come at the center, and that margin auto, you put it by the left and right. Margin left and right auto, it will make your container to sit at the center. Okay, so let me uncomment that again. Let me uncomment it again. All right, I hope you're understanding this, but if you don't understand it, please make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. I'll reach out to you and I will give you a solution of any challenge you're facing. Okay, so now let's continue styling this. We have styled our container. What's the next step to style? So let's start. I will also, what I did in our HTML, I also do it. I will just write a navigation. I'll call it a navigation bar. I'll comment this. This is just comment. I'm just commenting because I will leave this code on the description so that you can access it if you want. So I want to comment everything to make it to look very okay. So let's start styling the nav tag. This is the nav tag. Remember, what you are styling here is this. Look at this nav tag. Look at it here. We want to style this, and this nav tag is what encloses this. So guys, let's remove that border. We don't need it anymore. Let's remove that border. Let's remove that black border. I just use it to illustrate stuff. So now this is the nav bar, and let's start styling. Let's give it a display of flex. We are going to say justify content. We are going to say space between. and we are going to say we're going to give it align items of center, background color of 333, align items of center, background color of I have this color already that I want to make use of. So let's see what you have now. Let's see. Okay, so that color is kind of black, but it's not really black. Look at it. So now everything now is as a center because we use the justify content space within, then align item center. So remember, we already have this. We are everything now is we have to use in our, let me show you. If you come here, we have to use this navbar container. Let me copy this class name so that once I go there, I'll start styling it. We have to use this stuff here to put this in a display. We are going to put this div here, this nav container. We're going to put it in the flex, then use a space between to make this thing to be like, to look like this one we have here. Okay, so let me just go back there again. Let me go there again, and let's give it a color of white and a pattern of, let's give it a pattern. Let's give it a color first of FFF. This FFF is white. It's kind of white, so it's not really pure white, but it looks like white. Then we'll give it a pattern of, let's suggest the kind of pattern we should give it. I think I didn't say that stuff. Okay, this now, okay, it's white now. This the list style is white as well. So let's give this thing now a pattern. Let's give it a pattern of 10. This 10 pixel is top and bottom, and 0 by the width, by the left and right. Okay, so let's go again. So we have the pattern, and remember, you can as well style this to your own personal choice, but make sure it looks the same. You can as well use any choice of your styling to make this thing to look good. Okay, but just make sure that it looks like what you have here, or just make sure it looks good. Okay, but what I want to emphasize on is make sure you understand what you're doing and you learn coding very well. Okay, so now let's go, let's continue. Let's style that navbar container. Let's style that navbar container. We are going to give it, remember I said we are going to give it a display of flex and justify content. We are going to say space between. Then we are going to say we are going to align items center as well. So this now, look at what's happening here. That justify display flex will make each of these, will make these are two different components. Like, let's say the h2 tag, the h1 tag, and the ul is going to make it to sit in this horizontal line. And as well, you can use the display, you can use the flex rule to determine the direction. You can use the flex direction of column or row, but by default we already have a flex direction of row. So if you want this thing to sit at the top, you can use the flex direction of column. Okay, so all these things you learn all of them. Anyone you don't understand, you can as well make research, or you reach out to me. I will leave my you can reach out to me through my GitHub or my Twitter handle, or you can just search my name on LinkedIn. You connect with me, and okay, so let me quickly continue. So now we have this if you watch here, this is almost the same. What you want to do now is to put these ul items to be in the same line and remove this list style. Okay, so how do we do that? We're going to call, let's look at the nav. Okay, we have this class of nav links here. Let's come again and give it, so we're going to say let's give it a margin of no let's give it a display of flex. Remember, I want to put those list items in the same line, in a row. Look at it, it's in a row now. Look at it, they are in a row. So we are going to give this, let's remove this dot that style list. Let's remove it. We are going to say style list style. Let's list style, we're going to give it none. That it will remove that stuff there. So it has removed it. So now let's target the nav links li. That's the these items of the nav of the ul. So let's target it. Oh, I just copied that stuff now. Oh, let's call this. Let's target the ul. So look at what the I'm trying to explain everything bit by bit here, okay? So this is the ul. We have already given it a class of nav link. So we want to target this li, okay? We want to target the li here. So let's target the li. Let's target the li. We're going to give it a margin right of 20 pixel. Okay, so that margin will space it. It will spread it. Okay, look at it now. They are all on its own. So let's target that. Let's simply target that. The last item. Let's target the last item, the last child of that li. Let's give it that. Let's give it a margin right of 0 pixel. That's the last one. Let me copy this down. I'll show you. Let's give it a margin of 0. Then how do you target the last one? You see last child. Oh, sorry. Last charge. I'm going to give it margin right of 0. So if you come here now, so we want to just remove any margin here that will be, this is the right hand side, the right, we're just going to remove any margin, extra margin that will be there. Okay, so now let's continue. Let's start styling this e tag, this e tag. Let's start style. Let's remove those underline and give a color. Let's give it this white color. Okay, remember we are using that F33. So let's call it .nav link a tag. That is the, remember this nav links is the ul, this is the a tag inside it. Okay, so we are going to give it a color of F. That's the white color. And we are going to give it a text decoration and the pattern of, see, this text decoration will remove this underline. Okay, so let's give it a text decoration of none to remove that. Then let's give it, let's check as well, and you see it's gone. So let's give it a padding bottom top and bottom 5 pixel, then left and right of 10 pixel, padding of 5 pixel, and left and right is 10 pixel to make it to shift from that logo. Okay, look at it, we have just shifted this from that logo, and it's just similar to what you have here. Okay, look at it, it's just similar to what you have here. I think the size of the navbar, the other one is this one is bigger. Okay, so let's continue. So now I think we need to style this to look, we need to style this logo, but let's just finish with that a tag. Okay, let's finish with the a tag. So let's give, if you watch here, if you hover this, we have a background. When you hover over this tag, we have a background color. Okay, so now let's add that hover effect to that a tag. Okay, let's add that hover effect to that a tag, and we're going to give it a background color of, we use 555. Let me just copy this down. Let me copy this, and I will say hover effect. When you hover it, we're going to give it a background color. We just need the background color. Oops. Sorry guys, I think my mouse is misbehaving actually. We use 555. Just give it a little background color. Okay, so let me check now and see what you have. So yeah guys, it's cool. So we have this background color now. When you hover over this, we have this background color. It's very cool. We have this background color just similar to this. Okay, we have this background color now. Okay, so we are progressing. So the next step now is to design the logo. Let's make this logo to look like this one. You see there is a different color with this. Let me show you how to do that. Let's go back to our HTML. If you come to this HTML, let's remove this Y's. I will show you how to do it. add a span tag inside it. Then write that wise inside it there. Look at this. Then if you come here now, you see they are now in the same line. So let's tie this. Let's give it a color. Let's give it that purple color, that orange color. Okay. So we have to give that. We have a class of. We already have a class of logo there. Let's go now and give it. We'll give it a font size. Then give it a weight. Let's give it a font size. This is a font size. Let's give it font size of I think 24 pixels should be okay. Then we'll give it let's give it a font weight. Let's make it look bold. All right, so this is bold. If you come here, what's going on? So I think it's fine now. That's well. Let's tie that span tag. We'll call this. Let's give it a span. Let's give it a color. We have to give it that purple color. Okay, and that purple color is F600 hashtag F60. I think, yeah, it's F60. I'm sure it's F60. Yeah, it's F60. So yeah, you see, we have something very similar, guys, very similar travel wise. So we have just created this nav bar, and our nav bar now is in good condition. We are just our nav bar is in good condition now. So like, guys, let's quickly continue. The next step now is to let's tie this stuff. Let's tie this hero part. This is called the hero part, and this part we have just done now is called the navbar section. Okay, so now let me let's start styling this nav this hero part. And what do we do next now? Let's go back there again. It has a class of hero. It has this class of hero. Let's use it and start styling it. Let's go back to our CSS. We'll call this, we'll bring in that class of hero. We'll give it a font size of font size, not font option, a font size of 40 pixel. We'll give it a margin. Let's give it a font size of 40 pixel. I think 40 is cool, but if 40 doesn't look good, we are going to wow, this is very fine. This is okay. Let's give it a font size of 40 pixel, and this is okay, but it looks much bigger than this. And let's give it I think we need to style it back again. Or let's remove that stuff. That is too big. First of all, let's give it a background, that background image. Let's bring in that background image. Let's bring in that background image. I'll show you how to bring in background image. And I have an image or URL. Let's put the URL. So now, how do you bring in this background image? If you come here now, you see that we have this background image. How do we bring in this background image and then make this text, all this text to be on top of this background image? What you're gonna do now? I think I have that. I have the stuff. I have that image already on my desktop. I have it on my desktop already. Say, okay, look at it. These are the three images you are going to make use of. So I'll just quickly drag and drop it in our this location, this file location. Let me open this file location now. Okay, is it already? This is the file location. You can copy and bring in your, just bring it, those images. I have those three images here, so I'll just drag it and bring it inside this file location. Drag this one and drag the third one. Okay, so now I have those stuff there. I have those images inside there. You can just bring in your image to be inside that. So if you come here now, we have those images. Let me close down this stuff then, so that I'll show you. Look at those images. You can as well drag and drop or drag your image and bring it inside here. Copy and paste it inside here. Look at it. It's in the same file direction. Look at it. It's in the same file directory. Look at it here. We have those images. This is the particular image I want to make use of. The travel word is the name. So I'll go back to my CSS. Let me go back to my CSS. Inside the URL, I'll do dot. Look at it. Then it's pointing at those files in the same file direction. I'll choose this travel word JPEG. So if you come here now, this what's happening? It's not coming. What's happening? Oh, sorry, we use the background color instead of background image. Sorry guys, it's supposed to be background image. So, oh, look at it, the image is coming up. We need to arrange that image to look very okay. We have to use the background size. Let's give it a background size. Background size. We are going to say cover, okay, and we're going to say background position center. Background position. We're going to make it center. Then let's give it a padding of, let's release the pattern, see what you have now. Okay, so it's looking this way, it's still very tiny. Let's give it a padding of 100 pixel. Okay, that's bottom top. We're going to give it 100 so that it will increase. Let's give it bottom top of padding. It will enlarge this. It will make this thing to increase. Okay, and let's give it 0 of left and right. Bottom top of 100. Look at it now. It has increased. It has increased this thing to look at it. It has increased, but we still need to make it to look bigger again. So let's give it. Let's also now give it. What do you do next? I'm just thinking to make that into. Let's give it text align. Let's give it text align. Let's make it center. Okay. Yeah, our text is at the center, but it's still very small. We still don't have a full image here. We need to know how to do this stuff now. Our text now is at the center. Okay. So let's give it. If you watch it, you see that we have a little color to this. Let's give it that color so that this, we want to make this text to be white. Okay. So now let me go back again. I'll give it a background color. If you give it a background color, let's give it a background color. Remember, it's not going to show. I want to show you something now. Let's use the RGBA. I have some colors I want to make use of. The 60. I have 60. This is a kind of light blue, and I have a 103. This is RGBA. Then I'll add the opacity of 0.5. 0.5. If you watch it, that color is not showing. It's not showing. There's a CS property that you can use to embed background image and color together. It's called the background blend model. Let's give it a background blend model. Let's look for it here. Background blend model. Yeah, background blend mode. So we want to call it overlay. It will embed. Look at it. It has attached that color to it. So now let's give let's also we have given it the background image size, color, blend mode, and position. Okay, I need that stuff to come to let's give it. Okay, we have position. I'm thinking how to make that stuff to look very big, like the one we have the other side. Okay, just thinking what to do with it. Okay, I think we should let's just continue. When we give this stuff here, if we give it size, it's going to increase it. So let's continue. Let's go to the H2. Let's go to the hero H2. Let's go to the hero H2. We'll give it a font size of 22 pixel. Let's increase that font so that it will increase that. Let's give it a margin bottom of 20 pixel. Margin bottom of 20 pixel, and let's give it a color of white. Let's make it FFF. Remember, I'm using this custom color FFF as my whites. Then let's also give it a font weight of bold. Let's make it to look font weight of bold. Okay, let's see what you have. That's I think that font is not. Yeah, I think that font is quite small. Let's give it around 40. That font is quite small. Let's give it around 40. Let's see. Wow. Okay, I think that stuff is coming out. Yeah, explore the word is coming out. Font, we are not using 40 for it. Okay, so I think this is fine now. So let's target the p tag. I think that p tag, we'll give it font as well to increase that image. So let's give a font size of, let's use like 24 pixel here. So let's see what you have. Oh, it's still like that. What's going on with this stuff? I think something is, what's catching this thing? Okay, this is a font size. Let's give it a margin. Let's also give it a margin bottom of 40 pixel. Margin it. I'm trying to margin 40 pixel. Yes, it has increased it. It's still remaining a little. It has increased. It's still remaining a little. So okay, we'll add that. Okay, we have not added that button. I think that button is missing. What's going on? That button is missing. Did we add our button? That button is missing. That a tag. Okay, that's what this is. That button is missing. Okay, so let's continue. Let's give it a color. Let's give it the color of white. Let's call it white. I'm going to use white here. Pure white here, so that stuff will show well. Then let's give it a font weight as bold as well. Font weight to bold. Okay, so that, yeah, this button, what's going on with that button? That button. Okay, look at it, is there. We need to style it. Okay, we need to style it. We need to style that button. So let me quickly come here now. Let's style that button, and let's go back to our HTML and know what the name is. What's the name of that button? Okay, button. Look at it. Wow, that button there. Let's style that button. It has a class of button. Okay, so we're going to give it a display of inline block. Then background color, let's give it a background color of let's use that F60 again. Let me check. Let's see what to have. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Let's give it a color. Let's give that text. Let's give it a color of white. Color of, remember our white is FFF. Okay, so let's give it a padding of bottom top or 10 pixel. Then by the side we are going to give it 20 pixel to increase that. Let's increase. Let's see what I want to do. Let's increase it like this one. Then we'll give it a border radius. Okay, so then we have to remove this text decoration as well. Remember, it's an a tag. We have to remove that text decoration. So let's give it a padding first. I think we have that already. Let's give it a padding of 10 pixel and 20 by the left and right, that's by the side. This is what you have. Okay, it has increased, but I think this one is bigger. It has increased. Let's give it now let's give it a border of, let's give it border none to remove any border none. Let's give it border radius. You know what border radius does? Let's give it a border radius of 4 pixel. I'll show you what border radius. Border radius is what is going to make it to curve. It will make that border to curve. Look at it, this small curve here. That's what the border radius does. So we need to remove this text decoration, that underline. How do you remove that underline? We're going to use remember we have done it in our menu items. Let's use the text decoration. Text decoration, we'll give it none. Okay, so if you come here, look at it, it has gone off, and I think our stuff is in good shape now. So let's give it again. Let's give it a font size of let's give it a font size of 16 pixel. Oops, that should be okay. 16 pixel. Wow, 16 pixel. I think it's too small. 16 pixel. Let's make it like 18 pixel. Yeah. So our hero part and the all this thing we are doing is not magic. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing and be very calculative. This is not magic, okay? And as you are learning, you get there. You just have to pay attention and know, like, put it in your head, like, this is supposed to work like this. This rules applies to this, and you'll be very sure of what you're doing, okay? And as well, your code must not really run fine when you start coding. At some point you get it wrong, you have to figure it out and continue. That's the way to learn how to code, okay? So let's the next step. Now we have done this, the nav, we have done the nav bar, we have done the hero part, and everything is fine. So if I click this now, it will still be here, okay? So the next step now is to create this destination part, okay? Is to create this destination part. To create the destination part, create about us, then the contact us and the footer, okay? So let me go back again. So we're going to quickly start with the HTML of the destination part. Let me just call it, let me that feature this, let me write, let me comment, let me write a comment as well. Feature the destination, yeah, destinations. Then let's comment this stuff. This is just a comment. It's to tell anybody that is coming to read our code, this is the section of this, this is the section of this, okay? So this is the destination section, which is this part here. This is what I'm going to start coding now, okay? So let's quickly rush. Let's use a little time to do this. So we're going to give it, let's use section. We're going to use a section, and the section we are going to give it a, if you watch it, you see the way I'm starting this my code. I'm creating each sections, okay, and they're all wrapped in with the body tag. So if you come here now, inside the section, we are going to give it a class of destination. We're going to give it a class of destination. Destinations. So we're going to give it an ID of destinations as well. I will show you. I will tell you why we need the ID. So we'll have a div inside it. We'll have a div inside it. Well, this div is going to have a class of container to make it to be at the center and have that initial, this look at this class here. I want to give it that class of, look at this container class. I want to give it that stuff here, okay? So if you come here now, we'll give it that class. Then we're going to have, if you watch here, we'll have this heading here, okay? Let's add it, then add these images. This, we'll call this card. We're going to add each of this card, okay? We're now going to add each of this card, okay? So let's just run that now. So I'll just come here and again we'll add the h2 tag. Let's put h2 tag, I will call it featured destination. All right, destinations, okay? So we'll add the div tag. We'll add another div tag that will hold each of these. We're adding another div tag that will hold each of these cards. Then, all right, we'll put each of those cards in a flex property. So now let's call it destination container. Let's give this a class of destination I don't know how to spell destination. Container. So inside this destination container, you see the way I'm putting the name of my classes. That's where we have each of those containers, and each of those containers are a div. They are inside a div tag. So if you watch here, each of those containers, they has image, and they have a header, and they have a p tag. Okay. So now let's put the image first. I like to use this shortcut in sources to help me to write faster code. Destination. So if I come here now, if you check here, I have this destination. It has this header and has this epi tag. So let's style it now. Oh, I made a mistake. What's wrong? What's wrong here? So this is, let's call it destination one. Let's just give it destination image. Okay, this is a auth. In case your image is not show, that auth will show. Let's give it a direction. What was the file we are going to use? Let's use one. Let's use one first. Then we're going to add the p tag. Let's add the hashtag. That's the header. We'll call it destination one. Then the p tag comes next. The p tag, we're just going to use some random text from lorem ipsum. All right. Let's see what you have. Okay, we have here, we have the destination, feature destination. What did I type there? Feature destinations. That is destinations. We have this features destination. We have created this image. So let's create another one. I will change the image file to 2. Let's use feature 2 image. Then we'll call this image 2. Then we can use the same lorem ipsum text. So look at it. You have these 2 image now. Okay, this is what you need in. I think we should style this because this is very important. Let's quickly style this. If you look at this now, you see the images are in different sizes. How do you now start styling it? Okay, let's go to our CSS. Let's go to our CSS. If you come to our CSS now, let's copy. What's the name of that stuff there? Container image. Let's put the image style. Oops. Okay, just quickly start. Let's write it. I think it has that. Let's just copy that. I prefer to copy this stuff so that I don't mess it around. Okay, we'll call it destinations. Oh, in our okay. Let's call it destinations. What do we call? Let's be sure it's the same name. We are trying. I want to target this first one. This is this. Let me copy this one so that I prefer to copy this one so I don't make mistake with it. Because when you make mistake with it and start debugging, you feel like maybe your name you wrote is correct, but you don't know it's wrong. Let's give it a padding of. Let's give it a button top one, as in button top, button top of 50 pixel. Then left and right, you don't need any button there. Okay. So the next one is let's now target that container. Let me go copy that name. Let's target that container. This container is what is holding these two. Each of these div is what the that's what represent the card. Okay, so let's target that the container. We'll say display flash wrap. Let's give it wrap so that in case it's will have a large number, it will wrap it and make it to be in the same line. Okay, so let's give it a gap. Let's give it a what's going on? I think something did not affect there. What's going on? It's supposed to be in the same line now. What's happening? Let me remove this. What's going on? This is this. Let me copy the name again. Sure what I'm doing here. This is supposed to put each of this in the same line. It's in the same line now. So let me go back to our CSS again. Copy this out. Just display flash. Let me give it let me leave that wrap first. Let me give it gap of 10 pixel. Okay, that gap is there. So you see now that in the same line. Okay, we need to style this card we need to style this card. Let me give this in a flex wrap of wrap. We're supposed to make it, let me remove it. It's supposed to be in the no wrap. Let's use no wrap first. Quickly, let's just remove it. So the next thing is to start styling that that container, that destination card. Okay, so let's go and copy that name. Each of these has that destination card. Where's the stuff there? Each of those cards, let's give it a class of destination card. Let's go back to our HTML. This is class of destination card. Okay, so I'll just copy, let me just copy this and bring it in the other, give it in, let me bring it in here. So this is I want to copy that name. I prefer to copy my tax name, so I don't go and mess up something there. I don't go and mess around with something in spelling. So what we're gonna do now is to start. Let's type each of this card. This is card. This image. Let's give it a good height and width. Okay. So let me start. Remember that this div is holding those stuff. Is holding that image and the header and that text. We want to make it look like a card. Okay. So now we'll give it a border. Let's give it a border first. Let's start with border. 1 pixel. Let's give it a 1 pixel solid. 1 pixel solid black. Solid. Let's use something like 1, 2, 3. This color looks like black, but it's not really like black. So we have that color. Now look at that border there, is there. Okay, so let's go back again and give a border radius of 40 pixel, no, 4 pixel border radius, 4 pixel border radius. Then we'll give it let's see what it looks like. It's just that border radius, is nothing much. Look at it, just a little border radius. Let me this. Is it there? Okay, it's not saved. Look at it, look at that little border radius there. Okay, so now let's give it let's give it a padding of 20 pixels and margin bottom of 20 pixels. Let's give it a padding of 20 pixels. Padding 20 pixel margin. You know, while I'm coding this, I'm just thinking how to make this to be very simple to you guys that will be watching it. So I just want to make sure that everybody that is watching this will be learning. And that image is shifting. We are going to give it a size. Don't worry. We're going to give it a size. We're going to style it. So we have just given it a padding of 20 pixel, margin bottom of 20 pixel. Okay, look at that margin bottom there. So now let's give it a width of 600. This width, now this is where the magic is going to come in, because you'll be looking at it, you'll be thinking, how do you do this? Let's give it a width of 600 and height of 300. This is where the magic will come in. Let's give it a width of 600 pixel, and let me just show you before I continue. Look at it, has given it a width. Look at it, but we'll still style that image. That image, if you watch from top here now, look at from here now, look at here now, that's where the card is. So we are going to style that image. Okay, so let's give it a height of 300 pixel. Okay, if you watch here, it has a height of 300 pixels. Look at where the height is, but that image is overlapping it. Okay, so now we'll have to style that image properly. Let's handle that image properly, because that's where the issue is now. Let's copy that class name and get the chart of it. Is image. Now we'll say the image, let's give the image width of 100%. Let it take the 100% of the parent width size. Look at it, 100%. It will take the width of this our card that we have given 600 pixel. Okay, So it has taken that width. Look at it. It's looking like this one already. So now let's give it 100% height as well. So it's to take the height of this card. So let's give it 100%. Let's give it 100%, and as well we'll give it. Let's give it the border radius. Let's give the image border radius. Let's give it border radius. Border radius of 4 pixels. Let's also give it the height of 100% to take the height of that card. Yo, look at it, guys. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's cool now. Look at it. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Look at it. It's looking good. The image now is correct, but this stuff here, this stuff now, we need to make this thing to go inside that card. Okay, we need to make it to go inside that card. Those texts, we need to make it to go inside that card. Let me target it. I think it will shift a little out of that card to be outside that card. So let me. That's a simple way. But I think that what we did here. Let me show you something. You see the way we started this card, and this text is shooting outside that card. Is not an ideal. It's not really an ideal. Okay, but we can make it look. But if you are building a bigger application, it's not an ideal. This is just a simple application that we are building. Okay, I want to show you what I want to do. I want to target this h3 and the p tag. Okay, I want to target the h3 and the p tag. Let me call it my mouse off. The h3. I want to give it a font size. The font size of 24 pixel. Then margin top. I want to give it a margin top so that it will shift from that margin top of 20 pixel. Not 0, 20. So that margin will shift this stuff from this card now. Okay, so if I save it, if I save it now, look at it, I just shifted it. But this is not really an idea in case you have a lot of destination image to put. This, we're supposed to put this text and this stuff inside this card here. Okay, but this is just a simple application. I just want to call that out. So now let's give it a border. Margin bottom of 10 pixel. Margin bottom of 10 pixel. So okay, it looks similar to this. And I think the text is a lot. Let's clean up some of the text. The text is a lot. Let's clean up this stuff. I don't even know where to start. Let's remove from this. Not something. Okay, saved. Still many. Oh, that was just a little stuff that we removed. I'm trying to see how can I remove that stuff. I want to shorten them. Okay, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to just cut a little stuff here. Cut it out, then remove the. Oops. I want to cut this. Oh, what's going on? My mouse is misbehaving. Cut this. And I can as well just take off that Peter to make it to be simple for me. Close it again, placing what I have there. I can just take this and replace with whatever I have here. Undo. I think something. Copy this. Replace it with what I have here. So cool. We are good now. I just want to shorten that image. Okay, we are good. So it looks pretty good like this what I have here. So it looks like this, the stem stuff here. So we have started our destination part. The next part is going to be the about part. Let's handle this about. We have done this one. Let's handle this about. Then the next one is contact. Let's quickly do the about. We'll first start with the, let me open that. The way I close this stuff is using Control B to make it to show in a bigger portion. So I'll just go back to my HTML again. This is our section of feature. It started in here. So let's write for about us. Let's write about us. Then we're going to use we're going to use a section as well. Let's use a section tag to write it, and it's going to have the class of about and the ID of about, class of about and ID of about as well. Okay, so inside it we're going to have a div. Let me clean out this stuff. Okay, so the div is going to have a class of container. Then inside it we'll have, let me give it a class of container. No, container. Then if you check from here, from what you have already, this one has, this is the about, it has this I think it has this h2, then the p tag. This is the, let me just copy this one so that I will not waste time writing a lorem ipsum again. Lorem ipsum is just a random text that we use to write normal text so that you don't do any kind of plagiarism. It's just a random text developers use to write stuff on the internet. So let me write this. You're going to have h2 and a p tag. Let me go back again. This is a h2. Let's write a h2 and a p tag. h2, call it about us. Then a p tag. It's going to have a p tag. Let me paste that stuff I have. Then come back. Let's go back to our normal website and see. So we have, look at it here. We have our nav item already. Let's quickly just style that about. All right, let me style that about. We'll go to our CSS. We are giving it a class of about, then the h2 and the p tag. So we'll just come here and say dot about. Okay, then give it a background color. I already have my background colors. Okay, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to use F9. It's kind of a gray color. Look at that little gray color. If you watch it, there's a little gray color there. So I'm going to give it a padding of bottom top 50 pixel, 0 by the left and right, and the text align center. So let me give it 50 pixel bottom top. And you know what I want to do there? If you come here, I want, look at that top. I want to give it that bottom top. Left and right 0, left and right 0. I want to make it 0. Then I want to make the text align. I want to put the text at the center. So go, what have you, just like simply just like this. I think, but the font is still small, so we have to target the h2 to increase the font size. Let's just target the h2 dot about h2. Let's give it the font size of let's say 40, font size of 38 pixel. All right, then give it a margin button of 20 pixel. That margin button will shift that heading. Let me show you this. Yeah, this is what you want. It looks like pretty good like this, but I think the first side is bigger than the other one. So I want to give it a this h2. I want to give it a bottom margin button so that it will shift from that p tag. Let's give it a 20 pixel and see what you have now. Cool, look at it. So pretty good, right? Pretty good. So look at it, it's pretty good now. Good. I think we are progressing. Good, we are progressing, guys. We are progressing. So the next step is going to be the contact section, which is this. I will show you how to bring in your form. All right, so let's go back to our HTML. I will create, let me call it contact section. I'll just simply do this, and I'll use a section tag. the session tag is going to have a class of contacts and an ID of, we have, sorry, this side is supposed to be outside, an ID of a contact. If you remember, we have not used this ID attribute. I'll show you what you're going to do with it. All right, so it's going to have a div tag inside of it. Okay, so the div tag is going to have a class of container, then inside it we're going to have a contact, then we're going to have a heading, this heading stuff here. We're going to have this heading, this h2, then have the form. All right, so let me just quickly start again. So this is going to have a class of container. Guys, if there's anything you do not understand, kindly leave a comment. Okay, if you enjoy what I'm doing, you want to appreciate the channel, please make sure you subscribe. All right, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, smash it down, hit the like button, share. Okay, every week I'm dropping new tutorials. Make sure you subscribe, guys. This is a pretty easy way to support the channel to grow and produce more videos. Okay, I encourage you to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Okay, let's go. So this is a contact. Then I will now write the hash. That, remember, I'll have that heading. I'm trying to make this to be simple. This heading, then put down our form. All right, this is the button. The next one will be the footer, and we are done. So let's put the hash to. We're going to call it contact us. Then the next one is going to be the form tag. This is the form tag for our form. So we'll remove. If you watch it, we will see that we have pretty used a lot of HTML tags. If you see the way my code looks, when you're writing your code, make sure your code look clean and neat, so that other people can read it, and when senior developers look at it, they will know, yes, you know what you're doing. And when you join a company, they will know, yes, this guy knows, or this lady knows what she's doing. All right, so let's start with our form. The first one is going to be the input. I'm going to write our input tag. Okay, so if you come here, let me check how many input tags. We have 3 input tags, 1, 2, 3. This one are input text. These are types of text, 1, 2. Then this one is the text area, and this is the button. All right, so I'll just make this to be and let me make another one. Then put our text area. No, not the way we need it. That's the text area. We don't need this, some of these attributes. We don't need it now. Let's just take them off. We don't need it for this particular course. We don't need this. Okay, we'll just give it a placeholder. Enter message. So, and we're going to add a button. Let's quickly add a button. Send message. I'm going to say send message. Okay, so now if you come here, this is send message. This is type of text. Let me give it a placeholder of name. Let's say enter name. All right, so this one also have a placeholder of that one is going to be your email. Okay, let's call it enter email. I remember we have a type of email. We have a type of email in. Let's use a type of email, okay, instead of text, so that to verify email. Although we are not submitting it, but when you are writing input that will take email, only email, make sure you use the email type. So let's see what you have now. Let's see what you have. Okay, our form is here. Look at it. So let's quickly start the form. Let's quickly start the form. Let's go to our CSS. We'll give it our class. Let's give it class. We have this, the container h2. So let's just quickly style it. Okay, so the contact is going to take, let's give it a padding first. Remember, we have that class of contact. Let's give it a padding. Remember, padding bottom top so that it will shift it from that that about us section. Look at it, to shift it from there. All right, so now let's target the form. We are going to give it a display. The form, remember, is holding those input. Then we're going to give it a display of flex, then give it a flex direction of column so that it will sit on top of each other. Let's give it a flex direction. So let me quickly show you if I will continue so that you see now with that flex is sitting in the same line. Everything is in the same line, right? So I want it to sit on top of each other like this one. We're going to give this flex direction of column so that it will sit on top of each other. Look at it, it's sitting on top of each other. You see, this is the magic there. So what we're going to do now is to give those input and the text area, we're going to give them padding. All right, okay, let's give them padding. So let's say contact, the contact is their parents. Let me just write it. Contact input and the contact. This is grouping. What I'm doing here is grouping contact text area. What it means that this style will affect we work on this different. It will work on this input and the text area. Okay, so now we're going to give it a margin button. Let's give it a margin button so that it will separate it. Margin button of 20 pixel. Pixel. Yeah, it will shift it. Then we're going to give it a padding of 10 pixel to make that stuff to spread. You see, you already know what the padding will do to this. The padding now will inside that border and spread it. Okay, so now let's give it a border of 1 pixel on the border radius. Let's also give it a border radius. Let's give it a border and give it a border radius of border 1 pixel solid. I'm using that CCCC that looks like white. Okay, let's give it the border radius border radius of 4 pixel. Border radius of 4 pixel. Oops. Okay, so cool. I think it looks like this one. Cool. Yeah, the next one is let's target the button, the contact button. Let's style it and give it that background color and change the text of this stuff there. So this is button. So let's give it a background color of that orange color. Background color F60. Look at it. I'll choose it. Is there already? And give it a color of our FFFF. Then let's give it a padding of bottom top padding. Bottom top 10 pixel, then left and right 20 pixel. All right, cool. Yeah, let's remove this border. Let's remove that border. We don't need that border stuff. Let's remove the border. We'll make it none. Oh yeah, it's good. Now let's give it we'll also have to increase the font size. Let's give it a border radius of 4 pixel as well. 4 pixel. Okay, you remember that the border radius will cover this stuff. Then it's pretty looking like this one already, but we need to increase the font size of that text. Okay, so let's give it a font size of and if you come here, it doesn't bring that cursor pointer. We also have to implement it. So let's give it a font size of 16 pixel. Okay, and give it a cursor pointer. Okay, so cool. Yeah, looks pretty good, man. Pretty good. Look at it. Looks like exactly what you have done there. So these things are very simple to do. It's just for you to be very sure of your code and know what your code is doing. It's very pretty easy to do. Look at it. The next step here, once you are done with our footer, we are done. We are done. We are done, guys. Look at it. Almost done. So let's quickly do the footer. Remember, we'll create another. Let's create another. Let's create a footer tag. Let me write it there. Footer. I'll just do this here. Then write the footer tag. I like to use that stuff so that it will write this in very quickly for me. So this is footer now, and the footer, we're going to give it an ID of, let's give it an ID of footer. So guys, please, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you subscribe. This is just a pretty easy way to support my channel. The subscription, they don't charge for it. Just subscribe, okay? Please guys, subscribe. Let's go guys, let's go. We are almost done. Once we're done with this footer, we're done with the tutorial, right? So now let me put a div. We're going to have a div inside this, and the div is going to give a class of container. You remember what this container does for us? Class of container. That container is going to help to style that, to give it that default style that we have set, that padding of 50 pixel. Okay, so now let's give it inside. We have what do you have there? Let's go back again. What do you have here? We have this, just this p tag. Okay, we just have this p tag that shows the copyright. So now let me give it a, let's write a p tag. A p tag. Let's put that that C something. Let me show you how to write this C. This copyright logo. Let me show you how to write it here. Just use right and sign them. Right, copy and put your column. Is there now. Let me save it. You see, look at it, is there. So let's write the 2023. Let's just put the stuff there, the copyright stuff. 2023 travel wise. All right, reserve travel right. All right, so that nobody will take our website. All right, reserved. I think it should be okay. All right, reserved. Right, that's cool. Are you feeling it, guys? Are you feeling it? Let's quickly style it. So if you come here, just target the footer. Then give it a background. We want to give it a background of that CSS that looks like black. Okay, that background of, no, we use 33 background that looks like black, the one at the navbar. Then we'll give it a color of what? White. Let's use FFF. Then the text align. Let's make it be center. Let's see what you have now. Cool, look at it. Cool guys. So let's give it a padding of bottom top. Let's give it 20. Then by the side, we're going to give it, bottom top is 20 pixel, then by the side is 00. Whoa. Look at what you have here. We just have a very cool application. Look at this. It's just the same thing. Okay, look at it, guys. Look at it. Travel wise application. Our application is, we are done though. We are done, guys. Please guys, make sure you subscribe. This is just a very simple way to appreciate my work, okay, and make the channel grow. Just subscribe, guys. So now let me show you something. In case you click any of this, what is happening? I want when you click any of this, it will take us to that. Okay, we have done it already. So if you click this, it will bring us to this one. If you click this destination, it will bring us to this destination. If you go back again, if you click about, it will bring us to this about. If you click contact, it will bring us to this contact part. And how did we do that? Look at, if you come to our HTML now, each of these sections has this ID of contact. They have their ID, the section of their ID name. If you come here, this one has ID of contact. This about has ID of about. this section has the ID of destination. So if you come to our nav tag, we have this href that targets the ID. So this IDs now, ID of this href is targeting those IDs, those section IDs. Then remember, in your section, any ID name you use must be unique. It must be one. As we have used this ID now, ID of destinations here, you cannot use the ID or you cannot use ID again and give it the name of destination again. Okay, it has to be unique. If you are writing any ID inside this destination, it has to be unique. Inside this section, it has to be unique. Okay, so this is what the href is doing. Those href now, when you click any of them, it will take you to that section. So if I click about, it will take me to about. Okay, so guys, this is a pretty cool application, a pretty cool website we have just built in a very short time. Okay, so this is just HTML CSS. We are not using any JavaScript. All right, so we can as well look into this furthermore and fine-tune it. And in our next course, I think we should venture into media query. So I'll show you how to make this website to be responsive, how to make it to look good on every device sizes. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, please make sure you subscribe, guys. Okay, I will see you guys next week. Make sure you subscribe. Next week you're going to get an alert when I publish another tutorial, guys.